Hey, good morning, Huntsville, and welcome into another episode of Good Morning Huntsville. I think it's episode 22 already. I like to say the numbers every day, so 5 years from now we can say episode number 480,000.
You just want to prove to people you can count.
Yeah, that's right. So welcome in. Appreciate everybody joining us here this morning. And what better way to talk about counting and knowing how to count than having our good friends, Miss Kaye and Rick Boehning from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools on. And I said the Z on purpose to see if you'd catch it this morning, Kaye.
I did.
How you doing?
I'm going to quit correcting you.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, good to see you. Rick?
Good morning, Rob. Have I told you today how gorgeous you are?
I appreciate that. When you guys come in, and especially now with the flowers, this is just unbelievable.
Hey, wait. You're confused. You're supposed to tell me how gorgeous I am.
I did once.
You did not. You're supposed to tell him how handsome he is.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
You're a very handsome lady.
Yeah, so anyways, Rick and Kaye Boehning here. We always have some fun. We're trying something new this morning, and we're going to see. I don't know if it's going to work out too well, but we didn't. The ladies that come on the show, we always look out for you, and we didn't want to mess up hair anymore. I've had some comments saying like, hey, I don't mind coming on the show, but the headset, Kaye doesn't mind, but we've had some other guests, and I get it. Especially Rick, he was starting to get a little flustered that his hair was getting messed up every show, and so we tried these new lavalier mics, and they're not cheap microphones, but they do have like this echo. So if you're watching this morning live, let us know. How does it sound? Kaye, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
See, I think it's a little bit quiet, and if I crank it up, it's a little echoey. What about now, Kaye?
I don't know. You tell me.
Our audience can tell us this morning. You're going to be our technical engineers out there today. We are here on a Wednesday. Thanks for joining us again. As always, we're broadcasting downtown. It's been a little gloomy the past few days, but that's okay. We need some rain, and it's always good to have the showers coming in. But we are broadcasting live from our beautiful studio here downtown Huntsville. Our studio is always sponsored by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers. Please visit them online at elliotsjewelers.com. Also, big thank you to our friend Paul Oley of the Gallery. We wouldn't be able to bring you this show without him as well. So for all of your custom photography, family photos, corporate photos, and much more, and custom framing, please go by and see our good friend, Mr. Paul Oley. Well, here we are. Good show lined up today. We're going to talk with Rick and Kaye a lot more throughout this show. And also, I have our guest, Robin Logan, coming in. She is eagerly awaiting, and so appreciate her being here today as we're going to talk about building for bats. So a lot of great things happening in Huntsville. Before we dig into that this morning, though, Kaye, I wanted to talk to you. We had a privilege last week, and it was a privilege to go down to Houston. You received the Small Business of the Year award through the SBDC and SBC, or SBA. That was in small rural business. I mean, it was tremendous. Talk about just how awesome that was for you to receive that award. And, I mean, there was 500-600 people there easily. It was a great honor for you.
Yeah, there was a ton of people there. I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be this little affair of maybe 50 or 60 people. It was a very fancy hotel. I don't know that we can afford to walk in there.
I know. I felt my wallet kind of shift around. It was like this ghost was in my pocket. I was like, whoa, easy now.
But they did a very nice video. I'm hoping to get a copy of that at some point in time. And it was just an honor to get the award because, before, I always thought we were essential. We've always stayed open during the bad weather and things like that because I've always wanted the correctional officers to be able to guard the prisoners. I've wanted the police officers to be able to go out on the street. The nurses and doctors go do what they need to do. The people at Walmart need to go to work. And so we've always stayed open regardless of the weather because I want them to be comfortable having their child and taken care of and not be worried about what's going on with their child while they're having to go to work. And so during the pandemic, when everything was shutting down, my first call on that first day was I called the health department. I said, are you going to make me close? And they said, no, do what you want. And I said, okay, well, these people need to go to work, and they're not going to be given a choice. And so we stayed open. And that was the first time, I think, in my career that childcare was suddenly deemed essential and needed for the economy to function.
Yeah, I think that's important. And you were able to stay open through that and, not only being open and keeping things safe as well, but that still gave an opportunity for people who had to go to work and had to have childcare. They were provided that opportunity because you stayed open during a very tough time.
We were even featured in a book about how we navigated the COVID crisis. And so that was a huge honor that we got. And so to get this honor was just, I mean, I've always known we were essential and needed, but this was kind of bringing to the forefront that a child care center actually beat out tech companies and pharmacies and things like that to be recognized as being a business and doing well and making good decisions and doing the right things.
Yeah, it was great to receive that award and to be there, and I appreciate you guys, asking me to come down there. It was a privilege to be sitting with you, some good food, and I'm glad. I don't know I can't remember, Rick, if it was you, but somebody didn't eat the key lime pie, and so I had second and third servings of that key lime pie.
I think you had both of ours.
Yeah, so I do remember the award, of course. That was why we went, but that key lime pie was also amazing, so appreciate that as well. Rick, I mean, it was great. You were there, obviously, of course,
there.
And family came. Ray Hernandez from the Chamber was there, and also Shannon, so we appreciate their support. What was that like for you, just to, you've been by Kaye's side for so many years, and just to see that award come to fruition?
I like to help lift her up.
Yeah.
I mean, she's heavy, but we can do it.
So, but it was a great opportunity to be down there and just see, so much, the culmination. And for a business here in Huntsville to be put on a map like that, I think that's incredible for this community because of the work that you guys have done, especially UK.
Well, I was very proud that Child Care Center got recognized and very proud to bring it to Walker County.
And I believe it was the 16 counties in southeast Texas.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge district.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a few. And so, again, that took place this past Wednesday. We wrote an article on the website. You can go to hellohuntsvilletx.com, and it's still kind of floating around near the top. Click on that, and your video, it's me videoing your video. It'd be nice to get, like, the actual video, but you can watch that video as well where you talked about just receiving that award. And something that you said in there, too, is I don't think a lot of times people look at a child care worker, is this important profession. And it really is. And you talked about that earlier. It is a very important profession. I put it right up there alongside teachers and nurses.
Actually, in some ways, I want to say we're more important because we get the children first.
Mm-hmm.
And 50% of what you and I know, we've learned by age 4. And people don't realize how much a baby learns and how important it is to read to a baby, how important it is to talk to a baby. And this is my Wednesday wisdom. He brought it out early.
It's coming early.
Talk to them an adult. I mean, at what point are you going to teach the child that a horsey is really a horse? Because when you teach them incorrect words like horsey and blankie and things like that, then they have to relearn that right word, and then it affects their speech development also.
That's a good point, because I'll be honest, and I don't think that Bridget and I do it, honestly. Maybe sometimes, but I don't think that we do it a whole lot. But I hear those words sometimes, and I'm like, I don't want my kid talking like that.
Yeah,
I want them to say, like, blanket, not blankie.
I've heard 8-year-olds saying blankie and horsey and things like that, and it's just, at what time, at what point are you going to re-educate them?
All right, I do have to ask you this one, though, because it's important to me. What about daddy? Is that okay?
Daddy's fine.
Okay, I was going to say, because I prefer daddy over dad.
Well, I still call my daddy daddy.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, sometimes it's dad.
Because if we'd have to change it to dad, I'd have to change up all the songs that we have. Because all the songs that we sing to Braylon are daddy, so I'd have to change them to dad, and I just don't know if it would flow, Kay.
It probably wouldn't. I mean, it's 2-syllable words.
Now, usually as a child gets older, at some point they will change it from mommy to mom or mother or something like that. But that's usually...
I call her parents mom and dad.
Yeah, well, that's
But
good.
I've never called them mommy and daddy, so...
Yeah, you may get smacked for that, Rick. So, well, that is your Wednesday Wisdom brought to you by Kaye Boehning. Again, Kaye and Rick Boehning here from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Please check them out online. It is not daycare. It's a wonderful child care facility, and opening up that third location coming soon. So I know
We
that
broke ground Monday.
broke ground on Monday, third location coming. So just continuing the great work and great employees, too.
And
They're
then it
helping
rained.
you. Yeah, and then the rain happened, and so everything gets put on a little bit of a standstill. But again, I want to welcome you in today. Thanks for joining us here on the show. As always, we got prizes to give away today, and we've been doing this now every day starting last week. Thanks to Justin Killingsworth of the Color Bar. Our friends at Klein Card have provided their generous $25. These are, you buy them for $25. You don't have to buy them from us. We're going to give them away. This will get you discounts throughout local businesses. We eat at Yummy Yummy, and so I've talked about that. Got $6 off the other day eating at Yummy Yummy. If you go to 3 Spoons, buy one, get one half off. We're going to be giving away a Klein Card, and then check this out. Our good friends at the Downtown Business Line, they have given us, at the DBA, more WineQuest tickets. Or not WineQuest. I'm so messed up from WineQuest the other day. Wine Down, Whiskey Up coming up. So are you guys going to that?
We have a booth.
We have a booth.
Okay, awesome. So I won't be able to be there. We're going to be out of town broadcasting New Waverly and then heading back to the Austin area for Mother's Day. But Wine Down, Whiskey Up. So these are $35.
Would you like me to save you some whiskey?
If you could, we'll bring it on it may be too early on the show though to do that in the morning. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Rick,
We will be inside Cork and Canvas with some cheese.
Great. So, yeah, come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. And all you have to do to win this, we've already given away starting on Friday. All you got to do to win these, super simple. Just make a comment right now on this broadcast and just put hashtag Visit Huntsville TX or hashtag Good Morning Huntsville, and then like this broadcast and then share it. That's all you got to do, and you'll automatically be entered. So let us know you're out there. We'd love to hear from you this morning as we've got a lot more to come. But we will step aside. We'll take a break. Our good friend Robin Logan is joining us here when we come back. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Hey, good morning, Huntsville. Welcome back in on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. We are live here broadcasting downtown in the beautiful square. Our studio is brought to you by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers. Check them out online at elliotsjewelers.com. And now joined by Robin Logan. Robin, good to have you again. It's been a while.
Good to be here. Nice to see y'all.
Yeah, well, it's so great to have you on this morning. Very worthy cause that we wanted to talk about, and something that, kind of caught my attention about a year ago or so, and you have done a phenomenal job bringing awareness to a very important situation with Building for Bats, the nonprofit that you started and founded. Let us know how you are. Before we dig into Building for Bats, just let us know how you are and just kind of your journey here to Huntsville, Robin.
Well, my journey to Huntsville started probably back in 2012. I ended up here in Huntsville running an ambulance service, and it's been my life's quest. We've been working in EMS for 20 years, so ended up in Huntsville, and I normally don't work in the county I live in, so we just did critical care transports and such, and that's how I got involved in the community and got the networking of the hospital.
Awesome. Well, it's good things. And Kaye Boehning joining us as well. I know you probably can't hear us, Kaye, but I promise you're still coming through now. I'm sitting here moving wires around. This is why, Robin, look, I got to say this real quick, just because behind the scenes, this is why you don't try to experiment with new equipment live on a show. You're supposed to do it beforehand. But we're good. We can hear you loud and clear. And so, Robin, it's been amazing. You've been a friend of this community. I mean, whenever I came here, I got to know you very quickly. you're a go-getter, and I think that's so important because when you think about Huntsville, you think about folks who want to get involved and be involved, and that's what this community is about. That's what we highlight on this show, and you're that person, you know. And,
Oh, thank you.
and it's been amazing just to see the journey of organizations that have – there's a need, that need is met, and then seeing these organizations go to the next level and just really great things are happening. You're doing that with Building for Bats. You know, it was amazing for Bridget and I to take Braylon when she was little, and we didn't know much about what was going on in the bat world. You know, you brought that awareness to us. So let us know kind of how did that journey start, really what really sparked this idea for Building for Bats, because, I mean, there's 1.2 million of these bats that, you know, there was an opportunity that this building was going to be tore down here in Huntsville.
Well, I guess it started back in May of last year. We had went to see the bats. I've also done some research on some of the tourism aspects here of Huntsville, and I just kind of got a passion about it. It was amazing to see these animals there. It was amazing to see that there was that many animals and that they were just quietly living in this building among us. And I really started researching into what was going to happen with the building, why the building was looking the way it was looking. And we really found that there was a need to educate and bring awareness to this project.
That's very much needed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tear down the building, then the bats have no place to go,
Correct. And
except people's attics and different things.
except for Huntsville.
And there's just not. I mean, they've tried to relocate them, and they haven't wanted to do that. But if you tear that building down, you know, that's going to be.
Well, during the research, I found that these animals have such an affinity for their roost that even if the roost is not there, they will continue to fly to it. Need immediate roosting areas, which would be the city of Huntsville, the downtown district, and you know, I love the downtown district, so we have to really protect ourselves.
Yeah, and I think it's you think about, again, and I talk about organizations finding needs and bringing awareness to things. You know, coming from Central Texas, the 620 bridge was huge on 35. I mean, it still is. It's a big tourist draw there in Round Rock outside of Austin. That's a very well-known bat colony, and people literally by the hundreds now flock over there almost every evening to see these bats fly out. And for us to be over there by the Walls unit and see that for the first time, I was like, how could you not want to save this building? How could you want to see this go away?
My thoughts exactly.
And you know, and you've done a lot of research and you've worked with some very well-known, world-renowned experts in this field. What have you learned through this whole process, Robin?
Well, I've learned that it really takes a community. You know, it really takes the relationships that you build within the community. It really takes a whole effort. And I've learned that there are a lot of people out there that are really concerned about saving the histories of their towns and just the unique qualities of their towns. And so I've learned a lot of people just wanting to be a part of something. And I really enjoyed all the people that I've met along the way.
Yeah, you've met some incredible people, learned a lot, and you know this issue has been brought before council, and there's been discussions there, TDCJ, and you know and I was gone for 8 months. I joke around, call it an 8-month paid vacation, but kind of bring us up to speed. What has happened, over the last 12 months to 8 months now with TDCJ and kind of the process going forward? Because I came back and the building's here,
yes,
and that's good, and that's been a lot of your hard work that you've helped to make that happen.
Yes, sir, that's been a lot of hard work. So basically, what's happened in May of last year, I was notified that the building was going to be torn down in August of the same year of last year, and that's when the campaign just really ramped up. We wanted to bring awareness, and that's really what the main focus of the foundation is to bring awareness to the natural resource we have here. It's been reaching out to the communities among us, around us, and we've gotten some international brought in Dr. McCracken from Knoxville, Tennessee. He's worked on this for 40 years. I brought him down here and stayed at Sam Houston Hotel, which was a very nice hotel I hadn't seen before, but very nice. He came and 60 people showed up to find out what was really going on. So just along the way and bringing that amount of people to an information session was a huge win in our opinion, because people are wanting to know what's going on. And then there was some other awareness campaigns going on around us, which brought some more national and international viewing. Houston was really interested, and we've worked with Texas Parks and Wildlife as well as TDCJ. And we've even just from last year till now, the city of Huntsville has really kind of embraced us as well. So basically in August of last year, the building was going to be torn down. We got out on the side of the street, literally just protesting with signs. And we got enough interest. We had 1,500 people sign a
Save the Bat petition.
Save the Bat petition, and it brought enough awareness to have the powers that be kind of take a pause and look at what was going on. And once that happened, once we got their attention, we had the research from Sam Houston State University professors, we had the research from wildlife management companies, and we just presented our proposal, and that's pretty much where we're at right now. We have a stay of execution, you could say, as far as the building, which we're extremely happy about, because our awareness campaign, which the foundation was meant for, has really taken off. So
again, Rob and Logan joining us this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville, doing great work in our community, and we'll continue to talk more about building for bats. For now, though, we're going to step aside. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll learn more about the project, your mission. We've also put the website up on the screen, so we'll get back to that and much more. Stay with us. A lot more to go here this morning. This is Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be right back after this. Hey, friends, welcome back in here on Good Morning Huntsville. Happy Wednesday to you as we are broadcasting live from our studio downtown here right off University Avenue. Our studio is always brought to you by Elliott's Jewelers online at elliotsjewelers.com. I think it's supposed to rain all week. You know, I'm looking outside, and are you not supposed to say that?
I don't want to hear that.
Why?
There's bulldozers.
You know what, Kay? We're going to have a little discussion real
shovels
quick.
at the third location.
Robin Logan is joining us this morning. Good to see you, Robin.
Those
Good to be
things.
here.
I want to have a discussion with Kay real quick because,
She
you know,
needs some.
when I was up in Fargo, it was beautiful seeing snow for like one day. And, you know, you don't get to see a lot of that in Central Texas. I'm going to tell you what, I'm never, ever going to take this area for granted again. No offense. I know we got some Fargo friends. I love you guys. There's a lady who joins us every morning from Fargo, and we love you. But I'm going to tell you, man, they were right. People up there said, yeah, you love it now, but give it a week. And I was like, yeah, you're right, because it's 6 months of it. And it is. It's beautiful scenery. But that's why I'm saying, Kay, I'll take this rain and these showers for a week any day over that white snow that stays on the
I
ground.
don't normally mind the rain, but when I'm paying per day for bulldozers and those excavators and things like that, it's kind of costly when it rains.
Well, just tell them you should have, contract just stay of execution on that too, guys. Hey, You know, they should, if it rains, they should be cooking you food and bringing it to you, and be thankful that they've got the work that you're providing to them. See, we're going to flip the script here this morning.
I'll put them to work cleaning something.
I don't know why we got off on this tangent, Robin, but we're going to bring Robin Logan back on here from Building for Bats, a great organization, nonprofit, 501c3 here in Huntsville that is doing incredible work here, bringing awareness to a situation with the warehouse by TDCJ and or by the Walls unit. You know, we did have a comment come in a little bit ago. Our good friend Dina wanted to ask this, Robin. She said, what is the reason TDCJ wanted to tear down that building in the first place?
Well, the reason that we were told is that the building is impeding the mission of the Walls unit. And so I needed a little bit more clarification on that because I really couldn't understand what that meant.
Yeah, what was that again?
It impeded the mission of the Walls unit. So I was a little perplexed by that, and so I, of course, raised my hand and asked, can I have some clarification on that? And they need another parking lot over there for their employees, and so that's why they wanted to tear down the building. And it's been there since 1937. It's a historical, in my opinion, it represents the wonderful brick industry that TDCJ brought to Huntsville as well, and now it has 1.2 million Mexican free-tailed bats living in it. So there's a little bit of a problem in just tearing it down, in my opinion.
Sure, yeah. Well, and I appreciate you answering that. And so, Dina, that's a great question because I know a lot of folks in the community. I mean, I'm looking behind us. Who knows? These bricks may have came from, you know, TDCJ because you see the red brick all over town, and we know that a lot of it. And you know, and TDCJ is one of our largest employers here in the community.
Of course, they do a wonderful job.
A lot of wonderful folks out there. And this is just one of those things that we want to save, we want to protect. And, you know, I don't get on a lot of politics here on this show. That's not what we're about. To me, this isn't a political issue at all. It's just not. Something, in my opinion, when I came to Huntsville, I wanted to help preserve the fabric of this community and what makes up the culture of Huntsville. And to me, as an outsider looking in, and people can agree to disagree, that's okay.
It's fine.
We're fine to do that. But for me, on the outside looking in, that has become part of the culture of Huntsville, Texas.
Oh, absolutely.
And if I wouldn't allow you onto the show to talk about it, then I would be lying about what my mission is to protect the culture of our community. And you're doing a great job with that.
Thank you, Robin. And just to reinforce that, I was out there the other day, and there were several college students out there. And we walked up to one of them and asked, you know, oh, is this your first time seeing it? And they're like, oh, no. Every time there's a new freshman class that comes in, the upperclassmen, it's kind of like their rite of passage to come here to Huntsville. We take them up to the top of the parking lot, and we watch the bats with all the freshmen. So it was really neat to see that there was a huge community over there that also enjoyed it. It's part of their culture as well. It is Huntsville. It is what is Huntsville. And I think it's fascinating to see all of the different diversities that this touches, and that's what I really like.
What a wonderful tradition!
Oh, I think it's great. You know,
it passes passes it throughout the world.
Exactly, and I think it's a good way to, excuse me, stimulate biology and conservation in them, maybe. So.
Can I tell you one thing too? And maybe I'm not a scientist. I don't understand science things too much. I can tell you. Actually, I can't tell you anything about science. I was just trying to think. What can I was thinking about how rain's made. I can't even tell you that this morning, but I know a little bit about it. Just giving you a hard time.
More coffee?
Yeah, I need a lot more coffee. Here's the deal, though. You know, being down here, and right now it's muggy and humid, and this is the time of the year when mosquitoes really start popping out. I don't get bit by mosquitoes down here downtown. Now, back in my hometown, I get bit by mosquitoes like crazy. There's hardly any mosquitoes here. I would attribute that possibly to the bats going out feeding on these things.
Well, I mean, that's one thing we also want to learn in preserving this. What exactly do they eat? They are a huge agricultural benefit. They eat 5,000 feet up in the air, migrating insects that normally kill our crops around here. They have a huge radius, 60 to 70 miles around us. So they're really interesting to see. They're a little bit too small to put GPS locators on, so we're not exactly sure where they go.
1.2 million locators.
Yes, or even just, you know, they have to be super tiny. So that would be a good way to figure out what they're eating, is to have some research done on their guano to find out exactly what area they're benefiting and why.
Do they know? I've heard some chatter about where these bats go every day. I mean, do you know 100% where these things are flying to and where they're coming back? You know, and kind of where they're going?
Well, no, actually, there's no, this size of mammal is too hard to locate with GPS locators. So now what they do is they just take a radio transmitters and kind of, we see one here and we just kind of track them that way. So there's not really a definite understanding of where they're going. So it would be interesting to also include that into, we have a natural laboratory right here where we could do some, some research to find out where they are exactly contributing the best.
Yeah, and I think you just brought up another point that I didn't even think of. Sam Houston State University is right in our backyard, and what a tremendous tool that this can be now for the students at Sam Houston State University to do some research, like you just said. I never thought of that before.
Yes, I mean, there's been so many different disciplines that have touched this project so far. So we had an economic study done through the university. We've had, we've gone on many of the different podcasts. We've had several, around town interviews. So the media department over there is just, their students are loving this topic. I've even had some of the professors say, if we can motivate the students like you can, we'd all be really good. So I think it's just an interesting topic. I think it's a topic that touches, it's not political.
Yeah.
And so it's a really good topic to everybody can participate in, and it doesn't matter what you believe or what you don't believe or how you feel or how you don't feel. It's just a very good topic to have.
I think one of the neat things, too, when Bridget and I were down there, we met people from literally all over the place. There was a family that was visiting from England, which, and I was just like, how did you come from England to Huntsville? Now, it wasn't like to come see the bats, but now that they're here, they saw them. But on the flip side, there literally are people that are coming from out of state to see the bats.
Yes, there are. Last time I was down there last year, we had a couple people from Michigan. And then this year we were out there and a gentleman from Poland was out there. And it's just really neat to see how far people come. And that's part of the draw of it, is to come to Huntsville. We are going to be a destination city, and we're going to show Texas what Huntsville has to offer. And we have beautiful history here. Dr. Caroline Krim at Historic Tours has done a fabulous job in capturing the history here with her tours. And then we could show them our bats, our downtown district. The DBA has done a fabulous job here. We have stage now where we're going to have our music series. It's just really becoming a destination town, and I really feel like the evening times would be just perfect to watch the bats. So
yeah, again, Robin Logan
everybody got
here
to
with
see
us.
the bats during the gala at the Cafe Texan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah,
Perfect
so we were out
appearance.
there. That's right, Kay. And I looked up, and I've never seen them from that angle because
Yeah.
I'm never
Beautiful.
over there at that time of the day, and it was awesome to see
it couldn't
that.
have been better. It was just the most one of the most satisfying moments for me is, of course, the Cafe Texan is fantastic. I'm so excited about that. But I actually didn't see the bats first, and everybody kind of was turning around and filming up in the sky, and I'm like, what in the world is that? And there they were. I had such a moment of pride and happiness that it was almost like your kids walking across graduation stage, showing
It was
off.
cool. I was there. I saw her face. It was just lit up.
They did that just for you, Robert. They were
That's what
waving
I
at
think.
you.
That's what I
So,
Like, I should have done a flyby her.
Yeah, that's what I think, a flyby.
yeah, well, again, Robin Logan joining us here on Good Morning Huntsville, founder and director of Building for Bats. I did want to highlight your website as well, because you've done a great job putting this together as well, Robin. You can go to the website here online, buildingforbats.org. It is buildingforbats.org. All the information is there. 1.2 million Mexican free-tail bats. That's what this whole mission is, trying to save these bats right downtown here in Huntsville.
That's correct.
So I want you to tell about the nursery. You've actually been inside the building.
Yes.
So, of course, the nursery is one of my
Okay,
interests.
so
But I want to hear
we-
about the nursery. I want everybody to hear about the nursery.
So we had the privilege to go in and engage in looking at and recording the structural stability of the interior of the warehouse. And we have 40 minutes of video footage from inside the warehouse. And the way that they utilize the building, it's a full service roost. It's not just a resting roost. One of the reasons why they might not be using those bat houses among many. But when you walk into one section of the warehouse, it's on the bottom floor, and the way that the bricks were made, it's missing an interior brick. So it actually has a little nook in there that is perfect, and that's how the mama bats, I guess, raise their young. It's a perfect maternity. That's where all of the babies are being born and raised in these. It looks like they built this exactly for that purpose. You couldn't have done it any better. It's amazing to see. Amazing to see.
Yeah, we're showing the website here, and you see some pictures of the bats here on the interior. What was that like for you when you? I'll be honest, from the outside, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, man, I'd be scared to go inside of there because there's 1.2 million bats. You go in there. What was that like, that experience for you when you first walked in?
You know, it's probably one of the most unique experiences I've had in a long time. We suited completely up because, of course, you don't want to go in there without any breathing apparatuses. And when you first walk in, you just see this kind of narrow walkway that you walk in, and then it just opens up into this huge expanse. And I have to say, it was scary. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit scary, but they were flying around us. They weren't happy we were there, but none of them never touched me, never landed in my hair like people think might happen. They were a little concerned we were there and flashing lights around at them. But the inside of the building is just a phenomenal building. It's just amazing.
I'm glad that you brought that up, too, because that's something else that I wanted to highlight. Again, Robin Logan joining us here. This show on Wednesdays is made possible by our good friends Kaye and Rick Boehning of Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. But we are here with Robin Logan highlighting building for bats. You brought up a really good point, because I was thinking of this while you were talking, Robin. You always hear, oh, bats are not safe, and they carry rabies, and they're going to be all downtown and hurt businesses down here. I've been down here a month. I haven't seen one single bat down here, honestly. I haven't seen one. And I see them flying around. But I can tell you this, I'm not worried. Now, I'm not going to go run up, and if I see a bat, I'm not going to go pick it up and squeeze it and tell it it's cute. We don't do that, of course. But I'm not worried about a bat coming at me and biting me and giving me rabies. And I think that's a myth, that all bats are bad and that they want to hurt people, because that's a total myth.
Makes a great movie plot. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood, definitely.
So I'm glad that you brought that up, though, because safety is a concern with people.
It is,
and I'm not
most
a bat
definitely.
expert, but I feel safe with the bats here.
I would. Here's the thing. As long as we just, any animal, any wild animal, we shouldn't just run up to. Even some dogs that we have that are domesticated, it's not nice to just run up and start touching on them. If there is a downed bat, I definitely would give us a call. We do work with Bat World Sanctuary up in Marlboro Falls. They are a rehab facility that is excellent. We're working on trying to get some rehab classes down here. Hopefully within the next year or two, we could get them down here giving some rehab classes. We have had some downed bats, and one of the ladies in town, it was really neat to see how Facebook worked. Someone wrote a comment, oh, I have some bats here, and a couple comments later, oh, call Building for Bats. And so they ended up calling us. We went over there and safely collected the animals and then got them transported up to the rehab center. So another thing about rabies, last year we had got on record that there's not been any uptick in rabies, and there's been no one really wants to break into a building right next to a maximum security prison, so there hasn't been any.
There couldn't be a more safer place for bats than right next to one of the most historic, secure prisons in all of Texas.
I agree. They picked a fabulous place.
Yeah. The only uptick in rabies that we would see in this community is if Rick Boehning was out more than he already is. Just kidding, Rick. I don't even know what that means.
And actually, the bats eating the mosquitoes and things like that is actually reducing the sickness, because mosquitoes carry so many more diseases.
Yeah.
I would agree. And I'm not a bat expert, and nor have we done any studies on the guano to see what exactly they are eating. But I would love to have something done like that. And that's part of the community engagement that we would like to have with the university. Once, this is going under a lot of different ways of acquiring the building for the foundation, either with property swap or a straight out purchase of the building. We're working through those channels to try to get that so we could bring this kind of learning to Huntsville, which is actually historic because Huntsville is known for the learning. So
yeah, and no disrespect to our prison system at all. And like we said earlier, TDCJ and those folks do such a tremendous job. I just saw a lady yesterday at HEB, and I gave her a hug, and I said, thank you for all you do in our community, because they are a valuable resource. But, Huntsville is growing and moving, and most people from the outside, I was this way. I thought, oh, that's where the prison is. And that's why I said no disrespect to our great workers in the TDCJ, but I don't want Huntsville to be known just as a prison community, because it's not.
Correct. No, it has a lot to offer. We've excelled in education. We've excelled in a lot of things. Our cultural district is expanding and growing, and I really think that this is a way to keep our heritage and our uniqueness here in Huntsville. The prison system is wonderful. I couldn't do it. I've worked on the streets in EMS for 20 years, and they do a service that I couldn't do. Most people couldn't. My hat's off to them. But they are not in the business for bats, and we would like them to just give it to or acquire it into hands that are in the business for bats.
Yeah, and you said earlier, you're like, I'm not an expert. I can tell you, sitting down here with you, you sound like an expert. And I mean that in a positive way, Robin, because you have, and I do mean that, because you have poured so much of your time and energy into this project, and I can tell that you're passionate about it. And when you're passionate about something, that comes out, and you have worked very, very hard to bring awareness, to really build this mission. And you can find out more on that website. Wanted to highlight it again, buildingforbats.org. All the steps, the phases, everything that you guys are working on is all listed. The action plan, talking about your first, second, third action, that's all in the first phase, phase 2. You've got all this spelled out for how everything needs to flow and work. That doesn't just happen overnight where you're like, oh, I have this idea, and then you snap your fingers and all of a sudden you have an action plan. That doesn't work like that.
No, I've talked to her often, and you and I put together don't know as much as she does about bats.
Yeah. I know nothing other than there's 1.2 million of them, and we need to save them.
And you learned that this morning, right?
I did, yeah. So,
From the webpage?
Robin, before we let you go, and again, appreciate your time and being on with us for a little bit of an extended discussion here today, because I do think it's a very important topic, and so great to have you on and highlight your nonprofit. What are some of the biggest needs right now? I know, of course, spreading awareness, but, what are some of the needs that you have for Building for Bats?
Well, I guess some of the needs would be, just continue to focus on it, continue to push forward and have these kind of conversations. Of course, we'd love to continue to do community engagement. So any kind of community partnerships that we could do, we would love to be a part of. And continue to just reach out into our community. Of course, we are a nonprofit. This is all being funded personally. So, anyway, any funding is, of course, appreciated. But really, the main thing is to keep spreading this awareness, to keep telling people that we want these bats here in Huntsville, and to keep learning about it, because that's what mainly it is. It's a learning opportunity to see how this community could live with this kind of ecosystem, and maybe we could share it with other communities that need to learn that as well. So.
Yeah, and again, just check out the website, buildingforbats.org. I was scrolling through my photos. I should have had these up, but we took a video, and I'll show that at another time. But we took a video of all the bats coming out, and I really did want to highlight that for folks out there that haven't seen it before. But you know what we'll do? We'll post it on the website. So a little bit later, or on our Facebook page. So follow Hello Huntsville. I'll post the video that we took, and then, of course, you can see it on Robin's website as well. But if you want to see these bats come out in person, first of all, but maybe you're not in Huntsville and you want to see them, we'll post it online. You can see just how important this is for our community and tourism. I mean, I'm on the tourism board. I think it's important that we bring people in from out of town, and what a better way to bring them in from out of town than to see something that nature is having that's awesome.
I agree. And that's one thing we're pushing for with this foundation, is to get us on that tourism map so we could bring people here. They could enjoy our town and all the different aspects of things, and then might have to stay the night because you have to, of course, see the bats.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we let you go, Kaye, any final questions, discussion do you have for Robin while we've been chatting?
Can't think of anything. I wanted her to talk about the nursery, so
Yeah.
it'd be neat if you could get the building and have a viewing area where people could actually kind of look in and see what they do. during the
Well,
day.
that's one other focus we were thinking about, to keep the people from going in there and, disturbing everything. I'm really looking for, there's dioramas that could be made so people could really look inside
Oh,
the
that's
building
cool.
and see how it's utilized, because it is a full service roost. It's not just a bat house where they rest. So it's a maternity colony as well. So there's a lot going on in there.
I mean, I'm thinking like in my mind, Bat Park, like an area you go and you got a little tables that you set up. I'm literally seeing buses of children come in from school districts from all over the state, driving in and spending an entire day here in Huntsville, Texas. And one of the biggest reasons is because the bats. I mean, I could see that happening.
I would love for that to happen. This is one of the most unique ways to view it. Austin's amazing, but you could see, feel, and smell these animals when they come out. And there's just nothing quite like it. I've seen people, oh, yeah, these bats, let's see the bats. And then when they start coming out, just silent and just in awe, because it's just such a unique way to interact with these animals.
Well, again, Robin Logan, there she is, providing valuable information. Her nonprofit, a 501c3. You know they do good work. And please check them out online, buildingforbats.org. Robin, thank you so much for letting us know more about this. It was great to catch up with you last year, and so much has happened in the last 8 months that I've been gone with this project. It is unbelievable. So thank you for all the hard work you've been doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, I want to remind you, Huntsville, by the way, we are giving away our Wind Down, Whiskey Up. Sounds like a country song that Rick and I are going to start working on. Wind down, whiskey up, come on down, May 13th. We just lost every viewer. Sorry about that, folks. But it's happening Saturday. Come on out. We got a ticket to give away, $35 value, and our friends over at the Klein card. So the $25 value card is what you pay for it. But if you use this thing, you're going to get more than that out of it. I'm giving that away, too. So we're going to be giving this away. All you got to do, your final opportunity, like this broadcast if you're seeing it now, share it on social media, share it on your page, and then put hashtag either Good Morning Huntsville or hashtag Visit Huntsville TX. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. We've still got about 15 minutes or so. We'll come back with Rick and Kaye from Tomorrow's Promise. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Hey, friends, welcome back at it here on Good Morning Huntsville. Which camera am I looking at today? Right here. I got my cameras mixed up. Everything today was one of those weird days because we
That's
came
'cause we
on.
were on.
No.
You always have a weird day when we're on.
No, I love, yeah, you're right, actually. We had the IT problems one time. It's all good. That's why we love doing this show. And you know what's great? We have such wonderful folks like Robin in the community. That's why we do this, to highlight all the good that's happening here in Huntsville. Again, I think it's a very important project. That's why I wanted to have her on. And I'm not going to deny people being on this show for things that they're passionate about, that they believe in, that are for the betterment of our community. And so great to have Robin on from Building for Bats. And, it's something in this community when you see people like Robin and you guys, I mean, you as well, how passionate people are about what they do. And when you think of the success of Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools, it's because of the passion that you have. And now that third location, broken ground, hopefully the rain will wash away for a little bit, but it's because you're passionate about it, Kaye. And if you weren't passionate about it, your business, which is a nonprofit also, would not be thriving. And you got to be passionate about what you do.
You do.
So,
yeah.
and I know that
I've been cured of rabies while I was sitting over there.
Yeah, thank you for that, Rick. And Rick's a lot of fun because we get to, I just want you to dish it back to me, Rick, a little bit more, if you don't mind.
Do you know why they are called Mexican free-tailed bats?
No, why is this?
Because there's no tax on those tails.
Okay, there you go. So, yep, that's right. So, but again, Robin, what a great opportunity for her to highlight that and to really bring up an important topic. And a lot of folks have chimed in this morning. We want to get to those as well. We always want folks to feel welcomed here on the show. How about, who is this chiming in here? Grace Wakefield saying, visit Huntsville TX. She's entered into the contest. Jennifer has also entered into the contest as well with Visit Huntsville TX. Appreciate that tag coming in. My good friend back in the Central Texas area, Wally Harmon, is chiming in this morning saying good morning. And then Sally had posted a comment earlier. Sally Hosey said, good morning, Huntsville. Have a great day. Save the bats. When I worked, and she worked here, so check this out. When I worked the pickets at the walls, the bats were like our timekeepers. Shift is almost over. Can you guys help me out with this? Every day, multiple times during the day, I hear a horn that's like the Flintstones horn, like people getting off work. Do you know what that is?
Count's cleared.
Yeah,
What is it?
that's over at the prison.
Yeah, the count has cleared.
What does that mean?
They have to count the inmates and make sure that they're all there, and they blow the horn when the count's cleared.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
See?
That's what's happening.
Punk moving into Huntsville 4 years ago. Get out of our town. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's been so welcome.
we count the children at our school. We just don't blow a horn. When
Can you please, Rick, can we please go on Amazon and get like one of those really loud train horns, and can we rig that thing up? And
I can put it in the truck right now.
Yeah, let's do that. But I hear that. How often do they do that? Do you know? I mean, it's
4 times a day, isn't it? I
I'm
think.
not sure how often.
Yeah, I thought
Somebody can probably tell us, but I thought it was about 4 times.
Yeah,
a day.
Sally, if you're still chiming in, how often do they blow that? Because I'm sitting here and I love it every day. I hear, and then yesterday for the first time, I'm normally gone at noon because I leave for lunch, and I came back and I was here earlier before noon, and I heard a chime go off. And was that at the courthouse? Do they have a chime over at the courthouse, like an hourly bell or something, or was that a church near
There's
here?
a church over on the corner, I believe.
So maybe it was the church, because in Georgetown, the courthouse in Georgetown used to do it, and that's why I thought maybe it was the courthouse, but I don't see any bell or anything around there. So
I believe
I have a
it's the
clock in my
Methodist
office
church.
that does that.
yeah, but
Well,
not as loud.
Her clock plays tunes and things.
So yeah, I love being down here. You know, we talk about the good of this community so much, and just being down here on the square and seeing folks come back and forth and seeing the activity here downtown, and then hearing the count call. Is that what it's called? Count call? Is that what you called it?
Count cleared.
Count cleared. Hearing that. I mean, I thought I go back to like the Flintstones.
When you
That's
hear
what I
that
thought it was.
sound, you're supposed to be reassured that all the inmates are where they're supposed to
That
be.
all is well.
Yes.
Cool. Because at first I was like, is that a tornado? Because yesterday it happened. We had these storms rolling through, and I was like starting to duck for cover under these tables, man. I had no idea what it was. So, well, again, Rick and Kaye Boehning joining us here. Appreciate them being on the show this morning from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. We wouldn't be able to bring you this show every day and highlight folks such as Robin that were here earlier without our Foundation 5 sponsors. You'll hear every day of the week we have someone on, and Rick and Kaye are a big part of what we do here and a big part of the success of this community, highlighting those nonprofits. Kaye, we've talked about it before, but we'll kind of segue into this as we have about 6 more minutes. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Here, I know we're a little bit after 8, but it is important to give back in this community. You've given back in so many ways. What is so important for you as a business owner? And even though Tomorrow's Promise is a nonprofit, you've still got to go out and promote and do things in the community. What is so important for you? One of the main reasons that you say, you know what, we want to be involved and give back, such as events like the Color Run.
My first passion is, of course, we attend church and we tithe. Mm-hmm. And then for the business, doing the Color Run, doing the books for Dolly Parton, because that first 5 years makes so much difference. And so that's the thing I'm most passionate about. Now, we do support other organizations and other charities and things like that. But my goal is, if we could get the books in the hands of the children, then a lot of the other charities wouldn't need as much help. Because if you are teaching the children how to read, then there's not going to be as many prisoners. Mm-hmm. Our prison system is full of people that can't read. And so you'll reduce crime because they can read. They can go out and get a job. They don't have to steal to support themselves. I mean, some people are going to choose to do that anyway, but the statistics show that the better you're able to read, the less crime and less teenage pregnancy, less juvenile delinquency, less And so $1 spent here saves $17 later. And so that's my goal, is to try to, I like being thrifty. I spend the $1 now so that we save the $17 later.
Love that. And Rick, you've seen it so much, being around Kaye. What has just really inspired you about her and what's going on with Tomorrow's Promise?
She has a real passion for teaching the children, and that has inspired me. I was not a big child person before.
Yeah.
But since we've been married, I've been kind of thrust into that.
Yeah. And I can tell you, Rick, and just seeing, being around you, there's so much joy that comes to you. Like I've had Braylon around before, and I can see you light up with a big smile. And so I would have never taken you as a guy that didn't really want to be around children. And it's amazing how God works sometimes, because there's things that I've always said, and I've said it probably around you guys, and I've said it here on this show, that we can't really, the way that I've always looked at it is we have to step out of our comfort zone to step into our calling sometimes.
Yeah, she can tell you what happens when I have to be out on the playground.
So, yeah.
I've got video of him. He was standing on the school bus that we have on the playground, and they were going for a ride and everything, and all the children are around the school bus. And then we have another playground where they can see what's going on. And all those children are up at the fence like this, just staring, watching what he's doing on the playground. He had every child on that playground almost entertained.
Do you ever, Rick, I saw you at the run. Do you ever like put on a clown costume?
Only at the run.
Okay.
Only at the run.
Because I'm not.
She makes me.
I'm not knocking you, man. I feel like I would make a good clown.
You picked out that outfit.
Shh. Tell anybody that.
I feel like I would make a good clown too, Rick. So see, I'm not like making fun. I'm not poking fun. I think you and I both need to. You know what? That's what we're going to do on this show one week. Is you and I both are going to show. I'm going to get us some clown suits, and we're going to wear them here on this show.
I have no pride.
Is there any month that's like a funny month? Why isn't there like a national funny holiday, a funny day?
I think there should be.
There should
Let's
be.
make one.
Yeah, we're going to make that here on this show. So
I'm surprised you don't have National Clown Day.
yeah, I'm surprised. I bet there probably is, honestly.
There probably is.
The National Day calendar has everything known to man about what's going on throughout the national holidays.
Yeah, children get scared real easy with a lot of different things. And so, like, we have the firefighters come out, and they stand there and talk to the children while they're putting on their outfit. And then they start talking through their mask. And even though they can see the transgression, still some of the children are frightened. And they come out, and we have that program every year in case they actually have a fire, and you don't want the child hiding under the bed away from the firefighter because they're scared of what they look like or sound like. And so they'll take the mask back off, they'll take a few things back off, then they put them back on, and till the children get used to what they look like and how they sound. And that's really one of the programs that we also have the police officers come out and show them what the police cars and things look like. And it's
good you brought that up, because I have a friend that's 38, and Brandon, if you're watching, to this day, he's still scared of clowns. He just hates clowns. He's like, don't ever wear it. And he's terrified of clowns at 38. This guy was a police officer too, and I'm like, there's so many clowns out there when you're out, as a police officer. And so,
Look at that clown.
Yeah, man. So, well, hey, been a good show today, and as always, you can go back. Please share this with your friends, and those for you that are watching live, we will get to that award winner here in just a moment. I did want to highlight, as we always do, what is it National Day of? Just because we were talking about there needs to be a National Day clown.
I do have an announcement.
What is the announcement?
We're going to have business after hours on the 23rd.
Okay.
And it's going to be at the Walker County Education Center. And we're going to be celebrating the award and just thanking everybody for all the support in the community.
Awesome. That is the 23rd. Mm-hmm. That is a Tuesday.
Business after hours.
Through the chamber, 5:15. And so
business after hours.
Yeah, that'll be great. So come out there. You can look. Maybe you've seen Rick and Kaye and you've never met them in person. Well, now you can. You can meet these local celebrities in person coming up at they're on business after hours. So Kay's like just shaking her head. Well, we
are not local celebrities.
You might be now. What if somebody shows up and says, "Can I get your autograph?" Would you give them an autograph, Rick?
I certainly would.
Okay.
And probably $4 or $5.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's your local celebrities,
that's the
Rick and
person
Kaye Boehning.
paid to tell you that.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Because literally, I want this show to grow to the point, because not for us, but because I love that we get to talk about all things good Huntsville It'd be amazing for you guys to be out in public. You're the couple that's on that show. That's what the ultimate goal is here.
Well, how many people come up and say, "Hey, aren't you the face of Hello Huntsville?"
No, they don't, because I put all these camera tricks on. I look totally different when I walk away from this camera.
Rob, you're lying to me right now. You look exactly the same.
No, I'm not.
You walk out the door in your clown suit, huh?
Yeah, I do. I walk out with a clown suit on. It is National Day. We'll get back on track here. Today, a very serious topic. It is World Lupus Day today, and that brings awareness to a very serious illness. And so all of us probably know somebody,
My dad has lupus.
Yeah, or has lupus. And
in fact, I think he was one of the first men to ever be diagnosed with lupus back in the 70s.
Wow. Well, today is World Lupus Day, bringing awareness. Here's one, Rick, for me, National Clean Up Your Room Day.
Oh, well, would you like to clean up my room too?
Yeah, I need to. Literally, my office at home, electronics everywhere.
Yeah.
So National Clean Up Your Room Day today. So kiddos, if you're out there, clean up your room today. You don't wait for your parents to tell you, clean up your room. Don't wait for your spouse to tell you, clean up your room. It's National School Nurse Day as well.
Did you clean up the room today?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, clean up the room. Rick's like, I'm in trouble, man. National School Nurse Day. I was mentioning this on the show yesterday that, I still talk to my school nurse, Mary McKenna.
I heard you say that.
And today is National School Nurse Day. So thank you to all the nurses. It's also Nurses Appreciation Week here as well. So
It's also Teacher Appreciation
that's
Week.
right, nurses and teachers. Today, National Receptionist Day. Man, again, I still remember my receptionist there, Miss Vasquez. That's crazy that all these names start, because I didn't talk to like kids in my class. I talked to all the teachers and administrators, and I remember Miss Vasquez. She was our receptionist. So it is National Receptionist Day as well.
Sadly, it's been way too many years.
Yeah.
For me. Back when I went to school, we had stone tablets.
Yeah. You were chiseling them, right?
We were chiseling things.
I see you're barefoot with the car still here, Rick, as well. It's also National Washington Day, not president, but Washington State. They thought they were so important that they needed their own day today. So for any of you from Washington, hey, it's your day today. Congratulations. Also National Lipid Day. Bringing awareness there to cardiovascular things and blood. Also, National Third Shift Workers Day. Third shift. Man, that first shift that's the easy shift. Second shift is tough. But that third shift is overnight, man. So, and especially, in our prison system here and TDCJ. Big shout out, by the way, to all the TDCJ employees, especially those of you that are working those third shifts, having to work overnight. I know that's tough.
I could do that.
Also, something that I'm not really excited about is National Shrimp Day.
What
You don't
if
like shrimp?
shrimp at Rotary today?
I'm not going then. What is today, by the way? Today's Mackenzie's. So we had farm. No, because we missed it last week.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Farmhouse again. I love you, Mackenzie's. It's Farmhouse again, though. And you know why I like when Farmhouse is? Because they bring that pink cake. That is why I love Wednesdays at Rotary on this Wednesday, because it's Pink Cake Day, National Pink Cake Day over at Rotary. So, people, if you're out there wondering, what are you guys talking about? You just need to come to Rotary and experience it sometime. So, hey, here we go. Someone had chimed in. Check this out. International Tish Humphrey is letting us know, and also someone else there I need to see who this is. Somebody on the news and events group. See, they're paying attention, Rick. I'm not sure who it was. But they said it is International Clown Week is celebrated August the 1st through the 7th.
August?
Hey, you want to make a fist bump promise that we are going to dress as a clown on that week of the show?
We'll do it.
All right, there you go. You heard it first here. The Clowns of Huntsville coming out on August that week. It'll be Rick and Rob.
That's right.
Your clowns.
Well, my wife calls me a clown all the time.
So now you can be a true, legitimate clown. Thank you for that, by the way.
I guess I'm going to have to hide the credit card couple of weeks before so it can't go on Amazon.
Yeah, that's right.
Why would I need to go on Amazon?
Your clown outfit.
Yeah.
I've already got one.
The one you wear every day?
Yeah, well, it's Elvis.
There you go. We'll make it happen. Thank you for that comment. By the way, too, as always, our show here on Wednesdays is made possible by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. You can check them out online. What's the website address? I should know this off the top of my head.
Tomorrowspromise.info.
Tomorrowspromise.info. Go online. These are the experts in our community. It's not a daycare facility. We're talking about a child care facility, an education center that is setting your children up for success. I can speak firsthand because we had Braylon there when she was first born, and once we get things rocking and rolling again here in Huntsville, we're going to get her back in, and probably Caden as well. But I can tell you as an endorsement, a legitimate endorsement, because we've been there, that they will take excellent care of your children. And that's why I love working with you guys, because it's You're not here paying to be on this show and for me to make up stuff. I have literally gotten to know you, became friends with you, and I've had my child, Braylon, over at Tomorrow's Promise, and your staff does a wonderful job. And Robin's on staff with y'all as well, so that was kind of neat how that worked out today. So
She joined our staff right after Christmas.
So, it's great, a great business giving back. Again, please visit them online, tomorrowspromise.info. And you can also learn more about the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It's very important to get those books into your children's hands, something that Kaye Boehning is very, very passionate about here in our community. Before we go, I am going to give away that prize. All you guys are holding on, being like, come on, Rob, get to it. I'm doing it on purpose. We are here in our studio, brought to you by Elliott's Jewelers. Big shout out to Elliott Herzlich for helping us to be here. We're now a month into this. It's crazy to think. Here we are on episode number 22. We're a month and a couple of days into this show now, and I'm going to tell you every single morning, I get up a lot earlier than I did in the past, but it's something that I love doing, and I'm passionate about it because we get to highlight good things in the community thanks to folks such as yourself helping to make that happen.
And you're always so sunshiny when you get here. It's actually kind of disgusting.
Yeah, well, it's good. Even on a day like today, there needs to be a little sunshine, Rick.
I actually enjoy listening to your show. A lot of times I'm not able to watch it because I'm driving, but I listen to it.
That's good, yeah. So, we appreciate you guys. Kaye, were you going to say something?
I was going to ask how many followers you're up to now.
We're over 1,300 followers now. So, thanks to the community for supporting that and bringing it out. Also, we're going to have a Facebook post coming out, a like, share Facebook post coming out. Our good friend Justin Killingsworth from the Color Bar, they have provided some awesome gifts that we're going to be giving away. And so make sure that you follow the Facebook page, Hello Huntsville, to learn more about that. We're just in the gift of giving around here now. And Justin's the one that sparked all that. He goes, why don't you give away something each day? And so thanks to Justin, now we've got to give away something every single day on this show, and that just increased my workload going
Justin
around
has
asking
a lot
people.
of great ideas.
He does, and I'm gonna have to start
does.
paying him instead of him paying us. So he's already sending me an invoice asking like, hey man, what's going on? So flowers, by the way, these you will see almost every day on the show, and our good friend Leah Lineback over at Sweet Caroline's Floral Shop has blessed us with these flowers. And we will be giving them away at the end of the week as well. So a lot of things happening here. All you got to do is watch this show live. And then if you can't be live, that's why we have other prizes that we're giving away as well to help grow the platform.
Leah's a big sponsor, and so is Justin with the Color Bar for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
Love that.
And Elliott.
People giving
big
back.
helpers.
Well, we're going to run our tool here for our giveaway here this afternoon, or this morning. I was about to say this afternoon, this morning. And I think I saw it here. I'm going to scroll back up because I saw the name pop up on my phone earlier when I ran my little utility. Drum roll, please. The winner of the Wind Down, Whiskey Up. That's that #1 country hit coming here to Huntsville. It's Rick Boehning and Rob Hipp with your #1 country song, Wind Down, Whiskey Up, Cowboy.
Wind down, whiskey.
And there it is, man. Everybody is not going to join that song. It will go today to Miss Grace Wakefield. Congratulations, Grace. You followed the directions. So did many others. Thanks to everybody who joined in. But you're going to receive a Klein card and 1 ticket to Wind Down, Whiskey Up coming up on Saturday. Now that you say it's Saturday.
You got to put that Texas
Saturday.
And congratulations,
And
Grace. I know who that is.
congratulations, Grace. And some people in Huntsville lost power last night for some reason. So make sure you got your batteries and your flashlights. Your batteries on a Saturday. There you go, buddy. I don't even know why that popped into my head.
No idea.
My grandma used to always say instead of batteries, she'd say batteries. So she'd say, Rob, can you come over and change my batteries? So I never forget. I love you, Nanny. I miss you very much. There you go. That's how we'll end the show today on a Saturday and a batteries. But congratulations, Grace. Please send a text or a PM on our page and to reach out, and we will make sure to get these to you today. So any final comments before we go?
Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all for being here. It's been fun. So we'll be back at it next week. Tomorrow, more guests lining up here on the show as we're already moving into a Thursday. And so we will have Justin Killingsworth at the Color Bar. Boy, that's chamber breakfast tomorrow. Is it already Thursday? Yeah, it is. We're going to be at chamber breakfast tomorrow. We've got a very special guest that we'll announce later today that's going to be talking about his mission work and the great things that he is doing. But we will be live from Farmhouse Cafe. So come on out there from 7 to 7:45 or so. We will be on the air talking about all things good here in Huntsville. So that'll wrap it up today. Thanks, everybody, for joining. It's been a fun one. And until next time, we'll see as I end every broadcast reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, and God bless Huntsville. We'll see you back at it bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone.